Here's another keepsakecrafts.net video for House of Gems. Today we're using these lovely green serpentine beads and dangling leaves to make a necklace. For our necklace today we are using these gorgeous 12mm serpentine beads. These were generously sent along to me by House of Gems to use. We also are going to use these little metal leaf dangles. They come on a strand like this. We'll save these amber beads, but we're not going to use them today. You'll also need some spacer beads, and these are 3mm cubes. And then also some filler beads. These are just clear glass beads. They come often on strands of beads as spacers filling out the strand. You'll need a bit of chain to go around the back and a clasp. To finish our wire, you'll need our usual 2 each wire protectors, crimps, and crimp covers, and you'll also need some bead stringing wire. Today I'm using this pretty gold wire that won't matter if it shows, because I'm going to string this not as tight as I might otherwise because I want the leaves to be able to move. For tools, you'll need chain nose pliers, crimping pliers, and wire cutters. Since I'm designing this necklace from the center out, I've gone ahead and cut a piece of wire, about an 18-inch piece of bead stringing wire, and I've put a bead stopper on one end. And I'm going to start stringing my pattern. Now, in order to use these leaf beads with these serpentine, you really can't put them right in between them. They need a little room to move, and that's what these gold cube spacers are for. So it's just simply a matter of stringing a serpentine bead, a gold cube, and then the loop of a leaf, and then another cube, and then start over again with another serpentine bead. And that way, that little bit of space that the little cube spacers give allows the leaf dangle to move freely. So I'm going to go ahead and string about 8 inches of this pattern. The way I determined that was I simply held a tape measure up to myself and looked and thought, yes, that the heavy, these are heavy beads by the way, that the heavy area in the center, 8 inches would be quite enough. And then we'll do something else on the sides to fill out. You can also use one of those stands that they have for displaying jewelry to kind of lay it out and get an idea of what length and how much you want as you figure out your design. One of the best pieces of design advice I ever received was make visual decisions visually. Take a look at it. See how you like the looks of it. So that's looking pretty. I'm just going to continue until I have the length I want. Now I've strung on my beads and leaves, and this is looking rather nice, just about 8 inches. And then the next step is to fill in the sides with a few beads. And I'm just going to do an alternating pattern of these gold cubes. That's not a gold cube. There we are. These gold cubes and these clear round beads. And I'm just going to do that up for about 3 inches on each side. That's one reason you always want to save those extra beads when you buy strands of beads and they have the little extras thrown on and you think, oh, well, that's not what I want, that's not what I bought that for. But save them because they'll come in handy just for what they are, filler. So I've strung on these spacers on the sides, and keep in mind you don't have to do an alternating pattern. You can do any pattern you want. Say you only had a few of these cube beads left. You could do several of the clear beads and then 1 cube. Whatever pattern works for you for the supplies you have. Now these serpentine beads are rather heavy, so I'm actually going to double crimp these ends. So what I told you in the beginning, you'll actually need 4 crimps and 4 crimp covers, but still only 2 wire protectors. So we put on 2 crimps, and then let me zoom in a little for you here. Sorry about the sudden switch to voiceover. It suddenly got very noisy in my house and I had to redo the audio for this bit. But here I am, just putting the wire through the wire protector in one side and out the other. And then that wire end is going in through both crimp beads. This really gives you an extra layer of security if you have extra heavy beads. And you know, putting the wire through the extra beads on the necklace gives you no security at all. It just is a way to hide the wire end. So then just take chain nose pliers, grab the crimp that's closest to the wire protector and squish it flat, making sure you're leaving a little space for your crimp cover. And then there I am checking to make sure it's tight. And then squishing the other one, again leaving some space for the other crimp cover. And then we just trim off the excess wire with a pair of wire cutters. What I like to use crimping pliers for is for actually putting on the crimp covers. I use the pliers, the rounded part at the tips, to pick up the crimp cover. Be gentle, don't squeeze too hard or you'll close it before you want to. Slide it over your flattened crimp and then give it a gentle squeeze, and now it just looks like there's a bead there. You don't even see that flattened crimp. And then repeat for the second one. Just pick it up, slide it over, gentle squeeze. Sometimes these softer ones will squish out of shape and you can just gently use the crimping pliers to make it round again. So repeat on the other end, and now it's time to add chain to your necklace. Now I've got about 15 inches of design bit here, so I'm adding a 6-inch piece of chain to the right side. That will mean that the shortest my necklace can possibly be is 21 inches, which works out just about right for me. And here I am using 2 pairs of chain nose pliers to twist open that chain, remove the excess, and then you can keep holding it with 1 pair and then just slide over the loop from your wire protector and close it. This twisted chain's a little bit tricky to open and close, but you can do it. You just take a little time and kind of fiddle with it and make sure that both ends meet properly. And then I'm going to open the other end the same way. Yeah, sometimes it does want to jump out of the pliers, but you can do it. And then sliding on my clasp. Of course, you could also use a jump ring here too. I just decided to use the chain itself since it would work. And then the other side, I put an 8-inch piece of chain, and that is 8 inches of adjustability. So I could adjust this necklace to be anywhere from 21 to 29 inches, which works for me, because in the summer I might wear it more of a choker with a short sleeve top or a tank top, and in the winter it might end up going around a thick turtleneck, so you definitely need the extra length. So that's just applied the exact same way. Close it up, make sure it's nice and secure, and your necklace is all done. So here's another look at the necklace we made today. It's really an interesting design and a unique way of using charms. Take a look at the charms that you have and think about how you could incorporate them with strung beads onto a necklace. I think you'll like the results. They're rather different.